working day in Ukraine Crisis Media Center. And now I give the floor to Colonel Oleksandr Motuzyanyk, Ministry of Defense spokesman on ATO-related issues, with information about 24 hours in the ATO area. Welcome on stage. Good afternoon, everyone. Dear friends, now the information about the events that happened in the ATO area. In Lugansk area, the militants carried out 2 armed provocations near Novozvanivka, and 2 more were near Lobacheva village. Also, violations of ceasefire were recorded in Oleksandrivka and Stanitsa-Luganska regions. Heavy weaponry was not used, and each provocation lasted less than 10 minutes. The Donetsk area. There, the militants opened fire with the use of 82mm mortars at Svetlodarsk Bulge, launching 16 mines at Ukrainian positions near Lugansk village. At other flash sports, in Avdiivka and in Gorlivska perimeter, the enemy used small arms and grenade launchers. The Mariupol area. Enemy mortars were in 2 areas in the region of Vodyane and Shirokine. On the whole, the militants launched 30 mines at our positions. In this part of front line, there were 2/3 of enemy shelling and provocations of the last day. Also, the situation was tense near Talakivka, Pavlovpil, and Gnutovo village. During the last 24 hours, and the result of the military actions, no Ukrainian serviceman was killed or wounded. According to the information provided by Reconnaissance Service, New Year holidays heavily affected discipline of Russian occupation forces. The militants and Russian servicemen from so-called 6th Detached Motorized and Rifle Regiment in Kadiivka and 7th Brigade in Bryansk, Lugansk Oblast, massively fled positions on the New Year night. They drank and misbehaved in occupied territories. And the militant of so-called 100th Brigade, deployed in Donetsk, blew up a grenade, and civilians were wounded in the result. It happened during the quarrel. This militant was drunk then. SBU found 2 caches of ammunition in the ATO region. And they were in Vodyane village in Donetsk and Siza village in Luganshina. They confiscated artillery shells of 100mm of caliber mortar mine, 6 grenade launcher shells, and 19 grenades, and 7,000 cartridges of different caliber. Due to SBU program They Wait For You Back Home, 1 former militant returned to peaceful life. This is the resident of Toretsk who joined the militants in 2014. But he quickly understood the consequences of his illegal activities and fled to Russia. SBU got information about that he voluntarily refused to fight in the ranks of the militants, and this man returned to Ukraine, and he will be exempt from criminal responsibility if he didn't commit any crimes. Thank you. Do you have questions? Yes, there is a question. Katerina Shevtsova, Ukrainian radio. Do you have information about incident near Mariinka? What happened then? Yes. ATO forces sustained non-military losses. Yesterday in the evening, there was an incident in one of the units. 2 servicemen died and 2 were wounded. And the reasons and circumstances of this tragedy, it was identified that there was a fact that they violated some rules of use of weapons. They mishandled weapons, and they were under the influence of alcohol. So now the staff and the Ministry of Defense, they provide everything that is needed for investigation, and we inform that those people who are to blame in this tragedy, they will be punished according to the current legislation of Ukraine. Do you have other questions? No questions? Thank you. Dear colleagues, the next briefing about ATO area is traditionally tomorrow in 20